Hey, record loving friend, it's Brian from Tokyorecordstyle coming to you today with a very big thank you video. I want to send a very big thank you to a couple of friends out in YouTube land who sent me some VCLT, some vinyl community love train, some records and some swag from far away. And anybody who's been to the post office and put a Japanese address on a parcel will know that it is not for the faint of heart. So I want to send a very big thank you out, maybe riff on some musical ideas. So this very generous musical gift that I got from not just one, but actually two people, starts with Phish's 2009 comeback album, Joy. Now, Phish started in 1983. They went until 2000, and then they took a hiatus, and they went away for 2 years, and they came back, rested and ready to rock out again for another couple decades. They lasted 2 years and kind of imploded and broke up. Famously, frontman Trey Anastasio crashed and burned in a ball of flames and ended up on some kind of like house arrest situation. And luckily, he came out of the other side of this really, really challenging time better and clean and an advocate for sobriety, and became an inspiration to a whole bunch of people, including me, and got his band back together, and everybody was so stoked. And after a 5-year gap, Phish came back officially with this release from 2009, their 12th record called Joy. It started off what is considered the 3.0 era of Phish, their sort of third chapter after the first initial long run and then the 2.0 short-lived post-hiatus run. And this lasted up until, we say, COVID, and after which came Phish 4.0. But this kicked off 3.0, and it's a really fun album, and it was just Phish restarting from scratch. And it was produced by Steve Lillywhite, who also produced my favorite album of theirs, Billy Breathes. So it was really cool to see Steve Lillywhite back on the record. This record has a bunch of tunes that are in heavy rotation still. As you know, Phish plays like a different show every night. A lot of these songs, in fact, almost all of them are still in pretty heavy rotation. Backwards Down the Number Line, I think that got some radio play. I've heard some of you out there in VC land know about this song. Stealing Time from the Faulty Plan, Joy, a beautiful song about Trey's sister and losing her to cancer. Sugar Shack, a fun one by Mike Gordon, bassist. Ocelot, I love the song Ocelot. Ocelot is either a reference to a guitar or the guitar is a reference to the song. But Trey has these gorgeous hollow body Languedoc guitars that are braced like violins, and his own original design, I should say a collaboration with Paul Languedoc, their former sound man from ever ago, who is a very noted luthier. He's had these different chapters of guitars, and there was Marmar and the blonde one, kind of like we know Jerry Garcia's guitars, and there's one called Ocelot. And if you don't know what an ocelot is kind of a big cat. You know what an ocelot is, but it's this gorgeous, I want to say they're in South America. I don't really know where you find ocelots. Kind of a panther, jaguar kind of thing. And I think they live in the jungles of the Amazon, maybe, the ocelot. Kill Devil Falls, Light, which is a great sort of triumphant show closer. I've Been Around. Time Turns Elastic is the composed piece that has like 12 different movements and orchestral thing that students learn about and has been played in Carnegie Hall and places like this. Time Turns Elastic is a really amazing musical piece that I think can't be played on stage that frequently because it requires like 2 guitars and special tuning, and to play it you have to have some real conceptual mastery about dancing around the key changes. I'm not exactly sure. And then 20 years later, produced by Steve Lillywhite. I don't know a ton about the artwork. I would really love to know a little bit more about it. I'll look it up maybe. Beautiful wax here, colored wax. But what's kind of fun is that I don't think this got released on vinyl initially. It was only put out on CD in this kind of like wild box set that had the album and then like a bunch of posters, and it was this sort of like box set. One of the things that came along with it was a second album that we don't really consider part of the Phish discography, and it is called Party Time. And it is extremely rare on wax, and it was only released, I want to say, on their like 13th festival. It was called Superball IX. They host these summer festivals where they are the only headliners, and it's a 3-day long and maybe 12 sets of music. It's a festival. It's like a 2-day sort of like Burning Man type festival with carnival rides and vending, and they have like a little tiny record shop, and sometimes they have special releases only for those particular festivals. And this was released from the Joy Sessions Party Time outtakes and songs that just didn't quite make it onto the album, but that are also awesome and in heavy rotation, some of them. Party Time is a really fun one, a great one to kick off a set. Alaska is a mondegreen. It's a word or a lyric that can be heard in two different ways, which Phish is very clever about doing. Alaska, I'll Ask Her, is the song about Alaska. It's about a guy who goes to Alaska, and I'll ask her about Alaska. It's kind of a fun one. Windy City in a Misty Glade. I think these are like Fishman, their drummer-led songs, which he doesn't really, he's not featured on that many songs as the frontman or as the singer. Gone, Owling a Dream of the Bird. I don't even know some of these songs. So this, and then Liquid Time is one that I think has been recorded on a couple of different Trey records, solo records. So this is from 2011, extremely rare, and was only ever available at Superball IX. And my homie Stuart in Nashville, this came into his shop and he said, "Hey man, I have a copy. I want to send it to you." Oh my God, it's so nice. And I would probably not have a chance to buy this otherwise. Prohibitively expensive. And this is the kind of thing that my friends and homies are sending me all the way in Japan. Thank you so much, Stuart. Amazing. But that's not all. Okay, a quick aside. People often ask me, what's the first Phish album that I should get? And all Phish fans kind of know to recommend a live one. This was a double CD set that has since become a 4-disc box set, which has Primal Phish from '95. This is a killer, awesome album with some tracks that aren't on any of their canon discs. There's Bouncing Around the Room, Stash, Gumbo, Montana, which is only on this disc. You Enjoy Myself, Chalk Dust, Slave, Wilson, which I don't remember if was on a record ever. Tweezer, Simple, Hood, and Coil. Oh, this hood though is incredible. Really awesome graphic design. There's a really cool book in here. And shortly after that live album came out, a couple years later came Hampton Comes Alive, which is like a spoof on Frampton Comes Alive, right? And it was a 6-disc box set, which I've talked about a little bit. They have this kind of like nice little satisfying magnet that opens and closes on both sides, and the top opens here, and then the bottom opens here on the other side. And there's discs, and it makes up this puzzle, and it's really fun. But the reason I mention this is because when Phish came back in 2009, this is where they played the Hampton Coliseum. And during their short 2.0 run, they never played one of these most beloved songs, Fluffhead. You've heard of this song, Fluffhead, right? They didn't play it in 2.0, and when they came out after this 5-year breakup that nobody ever imagined the band would get back together, they came and played the Hampton Coliseum, and they opened the show with Fluffhead. And if you want to hear an audience that is about to vibrate off of the planet, I recommend going to find this on YouTube, because it is absolutely over the top bonkers. It is one of the most energetic, frenetic, high energy, exciting, anticipating crowds in all of rock and roll history. I promise you. Hampton Coliseum 2009, Phish's comeback show after a 5-year breakup. That is not all Stuart sent me. Even more rare than Party Time, probably double or triple the black market price, Stuart sent me Phish's 2 Soundchecks. This is just what it says it is. 2 soundtracks. The first being recorded from August 7th, 2010 at Berkeley. It's a 6-minute soundcheck where they don't even have a title of the song. It's like a funky jam they're just doing a soundcheck. And side B is Hartford, Connecticut soundcheck from August 14th, 2009. I think one of them, Trey is on drums and Phish is playing guitar or something silly. They're doing something silly. I actually haven't had time to really absorb either of these records completely, but it's going to bring me endless hours of enjoyment. And I think I'm going to play this like at a set sometime and just kind of like catch people off guard. This is extremely special. Not very many people have an opportunity to own this. This is a limited edition Record Store Day release from 2011, and mine is numbered with a pen right here, 183 out of 2000. I don't even know if they actually printed 2000, but I know that Soundchecks is one of the most rare Phish records that you can have. And a lot of people's completed Phish discography has everything except Soundchecks. Extremely rare, extremely lucky chance to own this very cool Record Store Day release from Phish. Oh my gosh! Then Stuart also sent me some really cool stickers, which I have already put on my cool 7-inch bag. He sent me some fun stickers that I've already put on my box here. This is my record carrying case for my 7 inches that I really love. I've got some Muro stickers on here and Jimi Hendrix, and he sent me some stickers that I actually don't know that well about, but I'm going to put even some more on here. But 2 stickers that didn't get put on the box because they're a little bit too big are by a Japanese artist called Tawaraya Tatsunori. And he makes these really beautiful kind of alien type creatures with these very intricate, almost grotesque designs. And his website is super cool, and I highly recommend checking him out. Tetsunori-san, Tawaraya Tetsunori, very cool artist. So Stuart, that is the craziest, nicest, most generous vinyl community love train gift that I have received. Thank you so much. You could have easily cashed in and treated yourself to a very, very nice present or night out with friends, but I am so touched that you sent these all the way to Japan. Thank you so much. I will enjoy them for many, many, many moons to come, and I'm beside myself with gratitude. Thank you so much. Let's get some VCLT exchanged in both directions, and let me find a way to make it up to you. Next, I want to also send a very big thank you to another little message I got in the mail from my We Read Iculus co-host, Andrea Rawson, Miss Rawson, who I read long-form Phish essays with on our semi-weekly podcast. She sent me a nice little letter here. Marika Paz illustration. Marika Paz. I'll leave a link to her stuff below. It's very nice. This little fantastical little... Dear Bri, I love you long time. Thank you for being a friend. I'm enjoying our hangs and doing the show with you. Small but mighty is how sweet projects begin. I am all about chasing joy right now, and hanging out with you is really bringing me joy. Hope the sidecar adventure is a blast. Yes, I recently went on a sidecar adventure. And by the time this card gets to you, you will have brought it home and likely begun tinkering. Mazel. Talk soon, read soon, hang soon, and bless your heart, Anne. You're so sweet. That's really nice. I hope you don't mind me sharing. And then she has some homies back stateside who she goes to see Phish shows with, and she sent me a mess of stickers, and I just want to share a few of them with you. This one is from the Texas show recently in Austin at the Moody Center, and there is a weasel riding on the back of a cow. I can't totally be sure. Oh, it's a possum. Possum, running across the piano. Here's Languitone. These are from Mexico, I think. Phish plays this run at the Mexico shows, and these are kind of, some of them are a little bit ocean-centric. A Wave of Hope, that's a Phish tune. Kuroda is CK5. He's our lighting designer on Phish tour, on Phish shows. Clear Your Mind. Another fun one from a recent Halloween gag that Phish did called Sci-Fi Soldier. Trey here on the Mayan pyramids with his goofy guitar that he does on First Tube. Sloth, more Mr. Wook and Little Miss Munchies. Fee, this is a great one, holding the Mexico flag. Very cool. Pianist, keyboardist, Paige McConnell here. Behind the shower curtain says Steam. That's a Phish tune. We've got Friends, as in the PH Friends, here on the sofa in front of the fountain. Some more Paige McConnell. And finally, their most recent album is called Evolve, and somebody made this really cool sort of Revolver tribute. Very cool. Love that. And thank you so much for that awesome sticker score. Okay, so I got awesome stickers from my homie Stuart in Nashville. Dude ass face, thank you so much. And I got a nice letter and some nice stickers from my We Ridiculous co-host Andrea Rawson. But the best is that I got Party Time and 2 Soundchecks. Oh my God. Super rare, incredible Phish records. I cannot believe I have these in my collection now. So crazy. Stuart, I'm just beside myself. I am so thankful. So there's a little VCLT thank you video from Tokyo Record Style. Thanks for hanging out. I got more things in the pipeline coming your way. Thank you so much. The fact that you just went to the post office and that you sent these things across the world is not lost on me. The intention behind the gift has superseded the value of the gift itself, and I just want to remember how thankful I am for that. And that's why I want to send a very big thank you for you, and just remind us all that it's not really the gift that counts. It's the act of giving. It's really the thought that counts. So for everybody out there who is sending things to each other, let's keep that in mind. Let's keep in mind that somebody put forth some really good intentions to share their generosity. So I'm totally moved, touched, and inspired by that. And I'll leave you with that. And wish you all a great day, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, I'll see you at the record store. Bye. My camera's so out of focus.